Like, I am constantly fighting to try and find like a few moments to shoot videos every now and then because she's bouncing off the walls. But peace be with you, everyone. Welcome to my channel. My name's Trevor. Really grateful to have you here, and today's video is just a recap of my weekly fragrance rotation this past week. I think the 11th through the 16th or 17th here in September, so about the second week of September. Getting very few leaves starting to change around me here, but fall is slowly starting to make its presence known. I've been also reaching for a lot of fragrances that are more inclined towards that weather pattern here, so let's just get started off with Monday. Reached for a really nice cheapie, something I've got quite a dent in. This is Trussardi Riflesso. So this is sort of like a La Nuit de l'Homme clone. There's no cardamom listed in the note breakdown, but it does have that kind of very similar sort of spicy, warmth to it. This one's a little bit fresher. It has a green apple note in here as well. A little bit more synthetic feeling overall. There is a little bit of that sort of syrupy textural feel that I get from kind of synthetic ingredients in here, but not off-putting or headache-inducing at all. Excellent price value proposition for this one. I think you can still find it for around $30. Beautiful wearing experience. It was kind of, most of the week had weather like what I have going on behind me here right now. Just very pleasant, 70-degree, idealistic. But yeah, this was my scent of the day on Monday. I think Monday started off a little bit rainy, and then it broke out into something like this, and that's sort of what we've been dealing with all this week. Very grateful for the pleasant atmosphere. So Tuesday I actually reached for a fragrance that I was wearing to do a full review on. You can check the video out. I'll put the card up in the video corner here somewhere, but this is Xerjoff's 40 Knots. Actually reminds me a little bit of Trussardi's Riflesso. I think there's some elements that bear some similarities in terms of just being a sort of fresh yet sweet fragrance that has a little bit of an apple nuance feeling to it. This one also, I find, has something like cypress, a very nice cold, refreshing, woody aspect to it here in the opening, and then it dries down into something very nice, ambery, soft, a little powdery, but keeps somewhat of a blue style versatility and freshness. I think the autumn is the best time for this though, because it's got a delectable salt note in here that really shines in the more dry, cool atmospheres. Kind of reminds me of if you've ever eaten like a chocolate chip cookie or something like that, and you bite into the dough and there's like a piece of stirred in like nougat of salt kernel somewhere in the in the cookie somewhere, and it just kind of is like a nice hit of sugary salt. You kind of get that here from time to time. Okay, so Wednesday, I have the day side off. I go into work in the evenings. I think I just reached for something kind of mass appealing and versatile for a work environment. This is Dior Homme 2020. I've spoken about it a lot on the channel. It's one of my top picks for designers overall. Probably like my favorite designer fragrance right now. Dior is my favorite designer house by far. Probably my favorite house in general. I haven't really explored much of Chanel's lace exclusive line. I'm sure like maybe once that happens, Chanel might be getting a little bit closer, but right now Dior's blowing them out of the water for me. This one is kind of like a little bit more resinous, sweet take on a Terre d'Hermès style fragrance. A nice citrus, sparkly top with some very elegant woods that have some sweet resins in here. Awesome stuff for year-round. I really enjoy the sport version as well. Definitely get your nose on this one and pick it up for this autumn if you haven't already. It's going for under $100 for 100 ml, and it's a steal at that price. Okay, so next we had Thursday. Just went again with something sort of mass appealing for work. Rocked 1 Million Lucky. Luckily got a 200 ml of this. I actually bought this by accident. I thought I was buying a 100 ml, and I thought I was like getting a decent deal on it. I think I paid $80 for this from Aura Fragrance. This was a little while back, but yeah, so I basically got about the dents about here, I want to say. So I've got you know, maybe 150 mLs left. Thankfully, I think they might have brought this back from discontinuation. I think it was discontinued, but it's still being sold at Macy's right now for like $115. It's a pretty good price, especially if you use like a cashback app like Rakuten or something to get some money back on buying from retailers. So definitely check this one out. It's a beautiful hazelnut with some ozonic qualities, like fresh, airy, sweet, cloudy, so there's some plum and honey in here as well. Just a delectable sort of fragrance that isn't too bubblegum sweet or youthful. It's just got a very nice, elegant style, sweet, fresh, airy quality to it. Definitely check this one out. It's one of my favorite designers for the autumn. Okay, Friday I usually like to wear niche fragrances, so I rocked Jubilation Man from Amouage. Again, to reiterate, the weather around me has been much like it is here today. It's just been hanging out around the high 70s. I think we had a little bit of rain on Monday and then over the weekend, but every time it would rain, it would break out in the sky, and the blue sky would show up and the sun would come in the late afternoon. So this fragrance perfectly captures that sort of weather. Just a very jubilant, joyful, happy-go-lucky, beautiful color scheme, kind of golden hues, like just making everything glow with that first little tinge of the autumn. And this fragrance has some nice blackberry, honey, some resinous, smoky qualities, but it wears pretty light and refreshing. Again, my most common scent association with this fragrance is a Thanksgiving Day charcuterie board. A little bit of some savory elements from like cheese and crackers, some fruity elements from like grapes and raisins. You get the blackberry note in here, and some honey here for just some nice sort of semi-sweet confections laying there off to the side. Jubilation 25, I think a must try at least for the autumn time. And this is the newer batch, so I hear vintage ones are even better, but I'm pleasantly, I'm very pleased with this current formulation nonetheless. Okay, so that was Friday. We got through the week. Again, like I said, the weekends, they started off rainy in the mornings, broke out into some nice, pleasant park going weather on the weekend, but during the morning on Saturday, because it was a little bit more dark out, I reached for Sultan Vetiver from Nishane. So this goes on pretty medicinal, I want to say. It reminds me a lot of like a very well waxed and shined basketball court or like a skating rink. Just some very creamed wood that has been waxed and just has like a very nice medicinal sort of quality to it, and that's how it opens up. Now there's some black pepper, neroli, amber, tonka bean. All of those really play into the character of this fragrance as it develops. It kind of divulges into something almost powdery sweet towards the end. Excellent stuff. I picked this up, I think it's tester 50 ml for like $75 from Aura Fragrance. Incredible value for money. I love this one. It reminds me a little bit of Guerlain's Vetiver, but this is more of an autumnal take on that sort of deeper, darker sort of vetiver that you get with the myrrh and tobacco in there. This sort of does in its own way with the vetiver note itself, just some more dark, earthy sort of nuances in here. There's like 4 different kinds. Really great stuff. One of my top niche picks in my collection for the autumn time for 2023. Definitely check this one out. One of my most enjoyable wears for this week. So that was the daytime. The evening time, I think me and my daughter ended up going out, visiting our wife or my wife and her mom, and just kind of smoothing over relations with everybody in the building. And so for that party type environment, I went with Versace Eros Flame. So this is just a nice kind of spicy orange with some other unique citrus notes here in the top. And then for me, although this does have the classic Eros sweetness, that kind of minty vanilla, there's some geranium in here and some rose as well that makes this one different and more autumnal in my opinion than the original Eros. But yeah, just a spicy orange with some very nice floral and aromatic qualities, and the aromatics and the herbal qualities like from the rosemary in here really pop off my skin. It makes this almost like an unsweet fragrance, at least when I wear it. So that's one of the reasons why I really enjoy this one. Loud and fun and social, and that was kind of the theme of the evening there for Saturday. So that was Versace Eros Flame. And then Sunday, it was just a relaxing afternoon. I didn't really do much besides laundry and just kind of hung out. Me and my daughter, she's almost 2 years old now, so she's very rambunctious, and it's like I am constantly fighting to try and find like a few moments to shoot videos every now and then because she's bouncing off the walls. But me and her just kind of hung out over the weekend, and I got to wear something for myself more or less because I wasn't really going out, and that was Aramis's Havana. Really kind of a musty opening, a little bit old school musty opening, which is why I could see this might put some people off, but the development of this is a very nice sort of bittersweet big red cinnamon chewing bubblegum over the top of a very soapy green, almost fougere style aromatic fragrance, and then there's tobacco that lends itself to that cinnamon quality in here, like the big red cinnamon quality with some tobacco, and then a green fougere sort of soapy dry down. Excellent stuff. I do hear, or I think there's a vintage formulation. I haven't tried that one, but interested into maybe seeking that out in the future. This has been discontinued officially now though. You used to be able to get it for like 20 bucks, going for around like 50 to 70 now. I think it's still worth, don't pay more than 70 I would say on this fragrance, but I think it's an excellent sort of designer offering from Aramis, especially for this time of the year, and it just almost feels like it blends perfectly with the environment where I'm at today. So that was my weekly rotation. Let me know what yours was in the comment section down below. Let me know if you've tried any of these that I've mentioned here, and what your thoughts on those fragrances are, and what you plan to be wearing this coming autumn as things start to cool down. So really appreciate you sticking with me to the end of the video. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.